Teen Titans Annual #1, written by Scott Lobdell and Tom DeFalco, art by Brett Booth. Funny story about this comic, it is part 1 of the Culling, after some preludes, and you would think that that would mean it would definitely be included in Teen Titans Volume 2 trade paperback, aka The Culling. But it turns out, no, they only included it in the Culling Collected edition that also collects the Legion Lost and Superboy issues. So if you want this issue but don't want to get the Culling trade because you have some level of decency as a human being, you have to get it individually. God, I hate this event so much. Okay, so Teen Titans Annual 1, broken down into 4 chapters, all of which stupid. So Chapter 1, we have Red Robin. He's arrived in the Crucible and is being faced off with a bunch of other teenagers, superpowered and not. And Red Robin is being attacked by Artemis, a well-known Green Arrow character from before the New 52. Keep that in mind. Thunder and Lightning, and they think they've got him trapped, but then he just immediately turns the tables, gets the one up on him, and be like, look, if I wanted to kill you, I would. I want to team up. And they're like, all right, cool. And then they make their way through the Crucible and just talk about all the kids here. Some of them have powers, some of them don't. Whoever wins this battle royale will get to be on Harvest's team of the Ravagers, and yeah, whatever. So then as they make their way through, they're stopped by a guy named, I think it's Fist Point. And they're like, hey, you're on our turf. Whoever's on our turf gets to die. And then they just beat the crap out of Fist Point with no problem. And they're like, okay, yeah, let's stop being stupid. But as they make their way forward, they come across the rest of the Teen Titans. And apparently Solstice is trying to convince Superboy after his prelude issue to join the team. And Kid Flash and pretty much nobody is really happy about it. But Solstice is like, well, prove them wrong. Prove that you're worth trusting. So he comes over and is kind of with them for a while. And Red Robin points out that, you know what? Maybe this is exactly where we need to be to do the most good. Maybe this is like how we help these kids. Chapter 2, we follow the Legion Lost, who was also in the Crucible, and they're trying to figure out what the hell just happened. They got jumped by a team of Ravagers, and now they're waking up in totally new outfits in a lava pool somewhere. And as they're trying to figure out what's going on, they think, hold on, maybe this has something to do with like some level of future tech, because like our teleporting guy Gates, he should be able to get out of here. He should be able to bail, but he's not. So something from the future tech is able to keep them around. So they're trying to figure out maybe this has something to do with the plot of our own book. Then we cut over to Harvest and his little team of baddies, who include Leash, Omen, and a third guy who doesn't get a name yet. Harvest basically says, hey, Leash, go out and start the battle between these two. So Leash shows up, and he grabs the Teen Titans, and he grabs just the Teen Titans, along with Thunder, I believe, or maybe it was Lightning. No, it was Lightning. Along with Lightning, but he misses Skitter. And on this page here, Skitter there's a hand outreach to Skitter and says, come with me. Don't be afraid. We'll go to a better place. And just spoilers for the rest of the series, this is the last time Skitter ever appears. Some random hand says, hey, sorry you were left behind. Let's get out of here. And then they just leave her. She's just gone. I don't understand. Why would we introduce this character if it's just... All right. So anyway, Leash drops off the Teen Titans in front of the Legion and says like, hey, that other team's going to hurt you. So kill each other. And so they... Despite the fact that both of them are good guys and both of them are whatever, they just start attacking each other. We get like team ups in power. Cassie's fighting Timberwolf. Gates is fighting Kid Flash. Chameleon Girl's fighting Bunker. And, you know, it's just fun little scenes of them battling each other. And I say fun very liberally there. Until finally we cut back to Omen and Harvest and all them. And they're like, hey, both these teams are fighting just to fight. Like, they're not fighting to kill. So what's the point of this? And he's like, yeah, I guess that is a problem. Also, the last guy's name is Warblade. And he's like, all right, well, time to start up the culling for real. Leash, get in there and do it. So Leash goes in. He grabs the rest of the teens from around the Crucible. And he drops them all off in a certain place, but not before he does something to their minds to make them have killer instincts and go against any sort of good they might have. And he drops them all off on top of the Teen Titans and the Legion and chapter 4 begins, and they say, Beast Boy, Garfield Logan, is red again for some reason, and he's using that killer instinct now to attack a couple different members. And it's just a general fight. Like, there's nothing that interesting going on. It's just the Legion and Teen Titans are like, I don't want to kill anybody. And they're like, cool, don't. And then they just don't. And then at one point, Artemis, who's still running around because she doesn't have any powers, she just has a spear, she gets attacked by Fist Point, who then kills her. And that's like first blood. She's the first and only one dead in this fight. And Red Robin swoops in and attacks Fist Point and says like, damn you, Harvest, we'll get you for this, we're coming for you. And then he's like, I'm sorry, Artemis. I don't really know Artemis outside of like TV show adaptations of her. Why'd you introduce her just to kill her? Can you like a fan favorite that you just, oh, and now she's dead. Not a cool move, dude. Chapter 5, Teen Titans are now just trying to fend off the horde of mind-controlled teens, and immediately after he swore vengeance for Artemis, he says, no, we can't make this about revenge or else we'll lose focus. So, between this page to this page, he just forgets. And then we see that the Legion of Teen Titans, they're like, hey, look, in order to fight off these kids, we have to work together. Well, like it or not, we're part of a team now. And they're all working together. And they collectively fight off all the mind-controlled teenagers, and the culling has seemingly ended with only one life ended. Meanwhile, Harvest, he's laughing his ass off, just screaming into the void of like, I knew this would happen, and that because I've lived through it all, because I am from the future, and no matter what, my future is going to begin here. Omen, Warblade, go and reap the dark mines that they have sown. And then we see, again, the two teams are shaking hands, and they're like, we did pretty good. Are you actually from the future? And Legion's like, yeah, we are. Are you actually a Teen Titans? Because in our history books, you shouldn't be around for another 40 years. And Kid Flash is like, yeah, this is great and all, but maybe we should get out of here before more trouble arrives. And then wouldn't you know it, more trouble arrives with the Ravagers team, a.k.a. Harvest's specific handpicked team, has arrived and are here to attack. Don't miss part 2 in Superboy number 9. It's whatever. The Brett Booth art is not good. It's not, but it never has been. So that's nothing new. It's nothing surprising there. I at least followed the story. I didn't like the story being told, but I at least followed of here's A to B to C to D. Funny thing is in the back half, or in the back of this issue, it actually shows like full-on concepts of like, okay, we know we didn't explain the Crucible at all, so here's a breakdown of like a map of where everything is, and here's like what it means, and here's some other characters that you literally haven't even seen yet, like Windshear and Bright Eyes. And I'm like, guys, I shouldn't need an almanac to tell me everything I need to know about this book. So no, it's just not good. It's not a good start to the thing. This whole issue was just, okay, the teams fight and then they get together on the same side. That's standard. I'm fine with that. I just don't like everything else. The Artemis thing, the fact that it's just wasting so much of its time doing nothing at all. Like, it's broken down into 5 chapters, none of which are interesting. And they're throwing a billion characters that, like, any of the series could have spent time introducing. But instead they're like, no, this issue we're going to introduce Artemis, Thunder, and Lightning. And then we're going to kill one, because screw you. I give this a 4. And the only reason that it gets even that high is because it's part 1 of the event, and I'm willing to give it a little bit of leeway that it might improve a tiny bit. That's not a lot, but at least a little. So, yeah. Check out part 2 on Superboy number 9. Or don't. I wish I couldn't, but hey, can't all get what we want.